How would you feel about a TV show similar to Undercover Boss, but instead of companies, they secretly infiltrate and film police forces? Laugh out loud, everyone has to know Undercover Boss is fake though, right? Like some guy shows up to your work with a camera crew, you know exactly what's happening. The only people that believe Undercover Boss is real are people who never worked retail. To be honest, I'd rather see an undercover lobbyist bribing politicians. Laugh out loud, the police union would never let that happen. At first I misread this as Undercover Bees and thought, damn, I would watch the hell out of that show. Also, your idea is cool too. How would you feel about stopping whorish? How would you feel about insert popular concept? I'd prefer undercover workers, where regular labourers infiltrate the government and seize the means of production for the lols. I feel like I've enough with this kind of Ask Reddit posts, and I've no bloody clue why anyone would continue to upvote such low effort Reddit bait crap. Let's not reality TV our way to restructuring emergency response services. I don't there is a TV producer alive who can pull it off. People in crisis is not entertainment. Just stop. Sort of exists. It is called body cam. You may enjoy 60 days in. Not the exact thing you're talking about, but still good. They had that. It was called Live PD. I don't know why they cancelled it, but I love the show to death. There is a book called New Jack by Ted Conover where he goes to work as a guard in Sing Sing prison. Not exactly policing, but an interesting read. I think this post was supposed to be more about seeing what goes on behind the closed doors of police stations and less about the actual Undercover Boss show. P.S. I worked in the police department for a few years. That show would be crazy boring. Call it Cops. Those watching, in hopes of feeling vindicated in their belief of cops being rotten, would instead get a harsh awakening of how rotten their neighbours are instead. Apply for job as police officer, go through training, rise through the ranks making changes along the way, become chief. Can we do Undercover Boss with teachers, parents of problem children get dressed up as substitutes and get to see their children acting a fool in person? A lot of delusional parents will learn some honest truths. I would much prefer the opposite show. An hourly employee is dropped into the executive ranks. The reveal at the end and what they have to say about the job and the other executives would be amazing. I would definitely watch it, but realistically it would never happen, and the undercover officer would have a pretty hard time being a convincing officer and staying out of danger. Contact your local department and go on a ride along, or several. I've been on 4. See it yourself. I would love to see personnel from administration, aka the brass, come back to the streets. It would be hilarious and entertaining to see them attempt to navigate the myriad maze of policies and problems that police face in this day and age. Probably be a very boring show, but I'd support it. Maybe we could finally start humanizing cops and treat them like the people they are, and instead of like demons. I'd love it. It would show that most police are just doing their job and not racist. Yeah, it's called 60 Days In on A&E. People go undercover in jail. They watch inmates, staff, officers and COs. It's pretty cool. They have done some great work, even gotten officers for bad conduct. They have a couple of seasons in different county jails in the US. You mean body cams and every mouth breather with a cell phone in a 100-yard radius. I would love that. A good chance to show how cops are normal. Good people who do their jobs with respect and integrity. There would definitely be more friendlier encounters with the public compared to the bad ones. It was called Live PD. It showed what police are supposed to do and how most police are, and it was awesome. Doesn't it excuse the actions of the bad cops and the system needs change, but all cops are bastards. Come on. I would love that, if only to show that not every cop is an asshole, and some people really do deserve the beatings they get. We already have bystanders to do this and then nothing happens, laugh out loud. It can be, apply at your department and do it. That show was basically called Cops and it ran for like 35 years. Closest we had was Cops and Live PD. Sadly those both got cancelled because people thought it was glorifying police, even though both actually gave regular citizens a view from the perspective of the police. I could watch that and know that this is exactly what most cops are doing. If I see something I didn't like, I could talk to my friends who are watching too. Cop here. You will find that the majority police departments and the officers are boring and just do their job correctly. Doesn't make much news though, so that's why the asshole criminal cops get all the attention. Remember, there are around 750,000 sworn cops in America. Not even 1% are criminals any given year, and if they are, good chance they are usually charged. But again, you don't read about it at a national level. I'm a police officer. I've told anyone that I know, especially the ACAB people, that they are more than welcome to go on a ride along with me and see what police work really entails. So far, no one has taken me up on my offer. Well, there are undercover agents operating inside drug and prostitution rings. It only takes one idiot who thinks he's made a good shot to publish that data, and soon you find some chopped up kids and a massacred police officer. I think it would be cooler if they secretly film and infiltrate the porn industry. Depends, would it also be a scripted show like Undercover Boss is? Like the 60 Days In type of show? How would I feel about it? I probably wouldn't watch it, like I don't watch Undercover Boss. They would only show the worst stuff, and most cops are awesome. Just forget that impersonating law enforcement is a felony. Isn't this like, I don't know, just spitballing here, but Live PD and or Cops, laugh out loud? And both those shows were taken off air. It would be much less exciting than you think. I think it would be more wholesome than most people on here think. It would end in lawsuits. They're already suing a citizen-based accountability board in one area. Lots vulgarity, lots of jokes, lots of love as well. Some negativity, obviously. Wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest. Sounds like a really good way to get arrested. Dumb, trying to get a citizen or a first responder killed. Police jobs are not a joke, and have some respect for them risking lives daily to keep us safe. Number one rule is make it home to family after shift is over. I would love that. Can we do the firefighters too? In my city, the firefighters just refused to help a woman who had been stabbed in the neck because they didn't like the paramedic who was also on scene. They straight up told her to put pressure on her own wound all the way to the hospital in the ambulance, while the paramedic, whom they referred to as a Sand N, did everything he could to save her. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of interesting. I'd actually genuinely enjoy a look inside a small town police department or something. I'd just watch it for the connections made between officers that kind of made Undercover Boss appeal to me. Ever feel like the questions on Reddit these days could be the government trying to identify potential troublemakers that they can make life difficult for? Why don't you rephrase the question? If the police state goes full retard, are you with them or do you need to be rounded up? I'd be all about it, but you'd never get anything real aired. We have Live PD, and that was basically Undercover Boss for officers, except that it was just dumb people as the customers. Hate that show, always the same sad ass format. Nobody actually follows the alleged business culture, apparently. Most workers don't make any money, so that's depressing as hell. How would it even work? Who's going undercover? The chief? Cops outside of maybe big cities would know immediately when they don't recognise the person with them. That's sort of what the show 60 Days In does, except it's correctional officers and the prison system in general.